Here are 6 reasons why the Capital One Venture X card is still one of the best premium travel cards you can get in 2025, regardless of the recent lounge devaluations. As you've probably heard, like many premium travel cards, the Venture X has gotten a major devaluation where you can no longer bring any guest, not even a single guest unless you pay for it, to the Capital One lounges or Priority Pass lounges with the Venture X card. You used to be able to bring up to 14 people with you with one Venture X card, but now that number has dwindled down to 1, which is the primary card holder. This is a major letdown, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. And the card is still an amazing card. And in this video, we're going to be going over the specific reasons to why it's still one of the absolute best cards you can get in 2025. Reason number 1, Capital One Dining. I've talked about this a lot on my channel. I can't stop talking about it because the more I use Capital One Dining, the more I fall in love with it. Basically, if you book Capital One Dining an exclusive table looks something like this, where it has like a time slot and a little star on it. You basically get free appetizers, free drinks, and free dessert, which is a really awesome benefit. And here's the kicker, you can even get it up to a party of like 6 to 8 people. So everyone in that party, 6 to 8 people, gets free drinks, and there's some amazing restaurants on Capital One Dining. I've actually seen many data points now on my channel of people saying, hey, I got this, I got that, I got this drink from this restaurant. And I myself have many data points here in LA. I can't wait to try this out in places like New York or other cities. But for me personally, there have been some really amazing restaurants. If you're here from LA, Bestia, Bavel, Girl and the Goat, they're all on Capital One Dining now. So I've been to all 3 because those are some of my favorite restaurants. I've had groups of me and my wife, groups of 4, groups of up to 6 people, and all of us got the free benefits, the free comps basically. It came with like free drinks for everyone in the group, and we all got dessert, I think in the form of gelato or ice cream. And yeah, it was completely complimentary on the house from Capital One. Now, it seems like my videos are working because these reservations are now harder to get, which is kind of worse for me, but you know, my channel is to kind of inform everyone about all the benefits of these credit cards. So I'm actually kind of happy, a little bittersweet that these reservations are getting taken up pretty fast now. But my tip here would be try to book a week or 2 weeks ahead. You will not find one of these exclusive bookings if you just go for like 1 day ahead. Maybe at one of the lesser known restaurants, but if you want to try going to like Bestia, Bavel, Girl and the Goat, you definitely have to plan ahead. Now, the one side to Capital One Dining is that they're not everywhere yet. They're at these cities right here, but they are rapidly expanding. So if you find them in your city, man, you got to try out Capital One Dining. Book an exclusive table and you will not regret it. And by the way, if you are interested in getting the card for yourself, I will be putting the referral link in the top comment of this video. Reason 2, hotel price matching. Now, Capital One, just like many other credit card companies, has a premium hotel booking section where you can get up to like $100 in food credits, early check-in, late checkout, room upgrades, all free if you just book from Capital One, specifically their Premier Collection or their Lifestyle Collection. Now, the problem with these bookings is that they're not really free benefits. They are inflated, meaning you really are most likely paying for those benefits. For example, a booking from the Premier Collection could be $400 a night, whereas if you look on Expedia, that could be only $300 a night. So therefore, you're paying for that $100 food credit. So not really much of a free upgrade. However, this is not the case with Capital One because of one simple thing that they have, which is going to be price matching. If you find a room that's like cheaper on Expedia or Google, well, Capital One will price match that and give you the difference in travel credits. Unfortunately, it's not straight cash, but they do give it to you in travel credits, which is really lenient of them. Here's an example. Here's one of my favorite resorts that I've stayed at this year in La Jolla. It's called the Estancia, and it's available in the Premier Collection. So that gives you things like $100 in free food, early check-in, late checkout up to 4 p.m., and suite upgrades complimentary. So you will get a lot of upgrades here. Now, if you book a night here on Capital One's Premier Collection a week from now, it would cost me $513. But if I find it on Expedia, it would only cost me $492, which is actually only a difference of $21 anyway. So actually not that inflated. Now, what I have to do is I have to book the more expensive booking on the Premier Collection, and then I call Capital One's price match number right here. I talk to an agent, I say, hey, if you look on Expedia, you could find this exact same room for $492. Can you refund me $21 in travel credits? And once they confirm that they could find it for cheaper, they will refund you in travel credits that $21, and it will be in your travel credit in your Capital One travel profile. So this means that you get all of these benefits truly for free because you got reimbursed the inflated difference. So that means Capital One has the absolute best premium hotel collection because it's like having free hotel status with like some amazing hotels. And unlike Amex or Chase, you don't have to pay the inflated price to get these benefits. You can get the actual price of the room while still enjoying these free benefits. Yes, it's a little bit of work, but in my opinion, it is totally worth it. Sometimes that $100 food credit can be a spa credit, and that is just amazing. It's always so nice to take my wife to a nice spa together. When I don't want to use my points for travel or for hotels, I always book through the Capital One travel portal, always. The only caveat to this is that they don't have anything in Vegas, unfortunately. I mean, they do, but they don't have any premium bookings in Vegas. The second they have Vegas bookings, man, I'm all over Capital One's travel portal for sure. So if you're someone that appreciates free hotel status, free food, free upgrades, things like that, the Capital One travel portal is definitely for you. Reason number 3, Capital One shopping. Now, the Venture X is not required to use Capital One shopping, but if you have the Venture X, you're much more likely to get targeted with a $45 sign-up bonus offer, which is always nice. Anything that can offset that annual fee, I'm gonna take. Now, what's cool about Capital One shopping is that they track where you go. And I know that sounds kind of sketch right now, but here's the kicker. When you go on a site and you're interested, let's say like Nike or Adidas or like Dick's Sporting Goods, they're gonna send you some crazy offers. They're gonna be like, hey, here's a targeted offer for Nike up to like 20% off or something. And one of the best offers right now is a crypto app called Kraken. I saw this on one of my favorite podcasts. And basically, if you just sign up for Kraken, you do a $100 crypto trade, you get $220 back in Capital One shopping credits. That's gonna be a really, really big amount of money to offset your annual fee. Or here's 30% back when you book any car with Sixt. I recently went on Sixt travel portal because I need to rent a car soon. And boom, I got targeted in my email for 30% off my car. Like that's a lot. 30% is crazy good. So Capital One shopping is a really, really great extension because it saves you a ton of money. I don't even know how they can afford to give you these discounts, but they're pretty solid. And on top of all those discounts, you get $45 just for signing up for the app, which is great. Now, the one downside, like I said before, is that Capital One shopping is tracking where you search. So if you're not a fan of someone collecting your data, then this is not the method for you. But for me personally, I'm gonna say it's worth it. I mean, my data is already out there anyway. I'm pretty public on YouTube anyways. So yeah, if you don't mind your data getting kind of leaked, or not leaked, but tracked, and you want these amazing offers, then this is definitely the extension for you. Reason number 4, net positive value. Now, the Venture X card has an annual fee of $395. Yes, it's pretty hefty, but right off the bat, you get $400 in travel credits, $300 in actual travel cash, and 10,000 Capital One miles, which could be translated to around $100 minimum whenever you book it through travel. Thus, you get $400, 400 minus 395, you net positive $5 right off the bat just for using one benefit. Now, let's say you use Capital One Dining. Let's say you use the Signature Collection. Let's say you price match a hotel. Let's say you stay at like 2 to 3 different hotels and get like $300, $400 of free food. It's so easy to net positive off this card, and it just gives you some crazy benefits and useful benefits, which is what I love. Also, unlike the Platinum card or the Sapphire Reserve card, I don't have to use Uber every month or Grubhub every month or, go to Resi, and I don't have to do anything. I just net positive by just living my life the way I do. For example, I'm probably gonna go to like a nice restaurant this weekend. I don't know. But if I look on Capital One Dining, I'm gonna find an exclusive booking where I can get free food. That is just really easy, seamless, positive value right there. And that's why I love the Venture X so much. I love that if I travel one time, literally just one hotel booking in a single year, I'm going to net positive a lot on this card, like probably like more than the annual fees worth if I get a room upgrade, if I get that $100 to $150 food credit, if I get early check-in and late checkout. Boom, right there, that's like $200 in value. And realistically, for Capital One dining, I could see myself using that around 10 to 15, if not 20 times a year. I think every single weekend I'm looking at Capital One dining saying like, hey babe, like, you want to check out this restaurant? It has exclusive booking. You want to get some free food? It's like, and it's always something that I'm looking into whenever I go out to like a nice restaurant. Reason 5, great multipliers. Now the Venture X card comes with 10 times points when booking hotels at the Capital One Travel Portal, 5 times points when booking flights or vacation rentals to the Capital One Travel Portal, and a baseline 2 times points for everything. Capital One miles are worth a lot, and some of the amazing benefits of Capital One points or miles is that you can transfer them out to different airline partners. Specifically, my favorites here are going to be Air France, Cathay Pacific. So you can really maximize your Capital One miles as well. So earning them is going to be crucial if you want to get a lot more benefit out of this card as well. I think the main draws here are going to be 10 times points on hotels and 2 times points on everything. That alone is amazing. Let's say you book a hotel for like $400. You get 4,000 points back. That's like $40 of like a rebate right off that hotel room. That's a 10% discount on all hotels that you book with Capital One. So yeah, these benefits are, the multipliers are really, really lenient. Plus, having a baseline 2 times points is going to be my card for catch-all categories, like things like this mic, things like this shirt, this desk, all this decoration in the back right here. That would only earn 1 times points if I used any other credit card, but with Capital One, all of these are going to be baseline 2 times points, excluding food and travel. So basically anything that's not food and travel, I'm going to use my Venture X card for. Capital One makes it easy for you to earn miles, and that's why I love the multipliers so much. Reason number 6, amazing protections. Now the Venture X is a Visa card, meaning it comes with Visa Infinite protections. Things like travel accident insurance, things like travel cancellation insurance, trip delay reimbursement, purchase protection, primary auto rental collision damage waiver, or primary car insurance. Yeah, these are some amazing protections that take out the stress of your travels. These make booking trips with your Venture X card a must because you're protected on every aspect. If an airline cancels on you last minute, you're going to get reimbursed for that and for your new ticket, that all the inconveniences that that airline caused you. And I'm talking about Spirit Airlines. This has actually happened to me. Like, I was like 4 hours away from my flight to Vegas and they canceled my flight. So I had to rebook a new flight with Southwest, which is the only option for the time I wanted, which was a $460 booking where my original flight was $84. And so I got reimbursed at $84 from Spirit, and because of the last minute cancellation, I got my $460 reimbursed as well. So AKA I got a free ticket to Vegas. It did take a while. I did have to originally pay that $460 with Southwest, but over time, like after I filed the claim, I got that $460 reimbursed to me. Or let's say you had to get a car rental for your next trip. Well, book it with the Venture X card because it has primary rental car insurance. So you're basically covered. You don't have to pay that ridiculous $200 fee just to get covered from the actual rental car retailer because they overpriced out like crazy. You can just decline that insurance and you can just say the Venture X got me covered. So just takes out the stress of driving a rental car. If you get in an accident, you're covered. Or let's say you bought something with a retailer and within 90 days, you decide, hey, I don't really want this anymore, or it broke, or it didn't live up to your standards. Well, you can just file a claim with purchase protection and you can get reimbursed that full amount. These protections are pretty broken, and what I love about them is that they're all useful. You're going to be using them a lot in your travels, in your day-to-day life. It's just a really, really great thing to have Visa protections. And yeah, it just adds that much more value to an already powerful card. So overall, this card gives you a ton of benefits. Still, I know the lounge access got devalued like crazy. I know they're being very stingy with their lounge access. Like, you can't even bring a single guest. But even with that devaluation, I think this card is still amazing. Now, let's say they got rid of that Capital One dining perk or the price matching feature. I would say, yeah, then maybe the card wouldn't be so great. It's like, oh man, like now they're going too hard on like their devaluations, but those things are still there. So I think that this card is 100% still justified and still just as powerful. And if you live somewhere with a Capital One lounge, like Vegas or Dallas, or I think Denver has one, I would just say get 2 Venture X cards because they're both net. You just net negative right off the bat. You just get $5 net positive. And then if you were to travel even once in a year, and then you and your partner can now go to these lounges. And it doesn't take effect until February 2026 anyway, so you're still good. You don't need to get a second one yet, but in the future, I think it's still worth it if you and your partner had a Venture X card. I think for me, when I book a hotel through the Capital One Premier Collection and I get those benefits and they're truly for free, that all makes this card worth it. I think I can literally get probably like $1,000 of free travel from this card just from the main benefits, which is insane. I'm not paying an inflated price unlike Amex. I'm actually getting those benefits for free. That's the biggest thing with Capital One for me, for free. I get things actually for free. Yeah, let me know if I missed anything in my 6 reasons why. Maybe there's a 7th reason that you can add on. I would love to have a discussion with you guys about this. Feel free to also ask me any questions you have about the card. Like I said, I'll put my referral link down in the top comment of this video if you're interested in getting this amazing card. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned a lot, and I will see you guys on the next one. Woo!